Theory of means introduced in the last chapter of the Self-Esteem in 1976. Means are units of cultural inheritance, and the purpose of introducing them at the end of the Self-Esteem was to downplay the importance of the gene as the only unit of a Darwinian kind of process. The whole of the rest of the Self-Esteem has been plugging the gene as the unit of natural selection, the entity which becomes either more frequent or less frequent in gene pools, as it happens, in natural selection. And I wanted to make the point at the end that Darwinian natural selection could be more general than that. On another planet, for example, if there's life, it would have to be Darwinian life, I conjecture. There will therefore have to be something equivalent to genes, but they might be very different from the genes that we know. Darwinism is too big a theory to be confined to genes. I tried to illustrate that in the Self-Esteem by introducing the mean as the unit of cultural inheritance, and suggest that in human culture there is something a bit like a gene which is, quote, inherited. And that means in the case of culture, simply imitated from person to person. So means might be transmitted whenever you hear somebody whistle a tune, and like the tune and whistle it, and then somebody else hears you whistling and they whistle it, and so on. That would be a transmission of a mean, or a catchphrase, a jingle, a poem, a style of speaking, an accent, a style of dress, a fashion. All those things are potentially a bit like genes, because they spread from mind to mind in a more or less accurate way. And in the case of something like a tune or a poem, it cannot literally be perfectly accurate, provided you ignore details such as the accent in which the poem is recited. Given that we have something a little bit like a gene, could there be something a little bit like Darwinian natural selection? Could some means spread through the mean pool more rapidly than others because they're good spreaders, they're good means, just as some genes spread through the gene pool more rapidly because they're good genes? Well, what makes a good gene is that it's good at programming bodies in embryology to survive and reproduce. Theoretically, a mean could do the same. A mean that made the bodies that it entered more likely to do something that passed on the same mean would, by definition, be a good mean. It would be a mean with high Darwinian survival value. Well, is there any science behind it? I don't know. When I originally proposed it, it wasn't intended to be a theory of human culture. It was intended to be an analogy to downplay the importance of the genes. Others, such as the philosopher Dan Dennett or the psychologist Susan Blackmore, have carried the theory further, and I think they do believe that it is a scientific theory. I wait on the sidelines and am happy to see them do it. I'm not sure myself one way or the other whether I think it really is a science.
Well, just to make a point, could not the whole of the evolution of technology be considered?
Yes, the question is, couldn't the whole of the evolution of technology be analysed in mimetic terms? There's always a risk that you haven't twist things hard enough to do that kind of thing. The question is, does it get you anywhere? Does it help? If you are talking about the evolution of, say, the jet engine or the evolution of the motor car and the computer, there is a sense in which you can trace the inheritance of ideas through successive generations of engineers' minds. Call it means if you like, but it doesn't obviously at least have a kind of Darwinian feel to it. The ones that do have a slightly Darwinian feel to me are the epidemic means, things like crazes at school. You know, when at a school, one child brings in from home a new kind of toy or a new kind of game, and it spreads exactly like a measles epidemic through the school. It has just the same kind of time course, and then it dies away again. And then perhaps the way is clear for a new mimetic epidemic to spread. Some means spread well in epidemics in schools, others don't. That's got a kind of Darwinian feel to it. It's not a very strongly Darwinian feel. Maybe technology you could do a mimetic analysis of. Some ideas survive better. Yeah, could be. I think, as I say, I keep an open mind about it.
At the back. It's related to the last point. GI of indeed the idea of being is economic.
What was the last word?
Economic.
Any use of means in economics? I don't know. It actually wouldn't surprise me. If you Google the word mean, that won't get you anywhere because you get the French word man. If you Google mimetic, M-E-M-E-T-I-C, which is the adjective from the noun mean, you'll find, I think, hundreds of thousands of hits. And if you Google mimetic and economics, you've got to look at a laptop. But I don't know any examples. I would be interested to try, and when I get home I'll do exactly that.
We can't wait.
Good, that's nice.